Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first in a series of webinars from Gurtam, Middle East. My name is Nishad Hussain Kaipalli. I'll be taking you through an introduction of ADAS and the steps involved in implementing ADAS reports, notifications, and other various settings on VLON. So what is ADAS? ADAS is a combination of sensors that aid and improve the safety of drivers and passengers on the road. It enhances the machine-to-human interface by detecting a set of on-road and driver behavior events by offering auditory and visual alerts. Some upmarket commercial vehicles already have such safety features built into their dashboard and onboard heads-up displays. They're intended to offer a higher level of road safety that are already becoming the precursor to fully automated driving experience. With the use of a combination of sensors and devices, this solution can be implemented on any vehicle. Our scope is in utilizing ADAS sensors to get events as parameters to generate notifications and reports. As you can see in the diagram, it's a three-step process. The integration of the device, the ADAS sensor, is taken over by the device manufacturer, and the device sends parameters directly to VLON. So the only prerequisite here is that the ADAS device is integrated directly by the device manufacturer. And events data and position update will be sent to VLON. So the ADAS event will come from the ADAS sensor, and the position data and other parameters will come from the GPS tracker. So it'll all be clubbed together and sent as packets and messages directly to VLON. So what can ADAS detect? ADAS has, most ADAS devices have two cameras, front-facing and driver-facing. So what does the front-facing camera detect? It basically detects lane departure without signaling, proximity to the vehicle in front, front collision warnings, and pedestrian crossing alerts. And there are also various levels of extreme, mild, and low warnings. So these thresholds are set in the ADAS sensor, not on the GPS tracking device. And the driver-facing camera, what does it detect? It detects driver smoking, driver distracted, driver speaking on the phone, eyes closed, and yawning. And the worst of all is driver not detected, which is a very serious violation. So ADAS on VLON. So what are the basic prerequisites of running ADAS on VLON? You basically require the parameters generated by the ADAS sensor. They have to come through the GPS tracking device, and it comes as messages. So the list of these violations, these event codes, has to be provided by the ADAS sensor manufacturer, not the GPS tracking device manufacturer. This has to be very clear. Now we go on to the live part of this webinar, where I will demonstrate generating messages, creating sensors, notifications, unit properties, and generation of reports. So in this account, we have three different ADAS units. We will first go into this particular device, which is a Galileo Sky device. And let us look at the sensor settings. In the sensor settings, we have created an ADAS sensor, which is a custom sensor type. And it's looking for user_D0 as the parameter. This user underscore D0 is the parameter the Galileo Sky device has been configured to send. And this is actually coming in from the RS-232 port. So let's look at the calculation table. There is one small setting here, which is the lower bound I have set to 1. So anything that is lower than 1, like 0 or minus values, they will not be considered as valid. And I've shown you now I'm showing you the list of event codes that the device manufacturer, as in the sensor, the ADAS sensor manufacturer, sorry, has forwarded to us. So these are the event codes, and I'm going to use this to create these color intervals. So these intervals and colors and the text are as per the list. So it's exactly as it is provided. And I've managed to find so many 15 different colors, which is not easy. And then, so what does this mean? What do these colors mean? These colors can be used in the advanced properties. In the advanced setting, we can use these in usage of sensor colors in the monitoring panel. So in sensor state, you can use ADAS as the assigned sensor to show you the colors for each ADAS violation. So when there is an ADAS violation, it will change to that color. And now we go to the eco-driving profile. The eco-driving profile has, as you can see, these are the regular usual violations like extreme braking, harsh driving. So these can be selected by just selecting one of these profiles, and those will be populated. But the others, which are mentioned as ADAS, were created. So let us look at this. It should be the criterion is a custom, and the name is ADAS driver distraction warning. Now let me take you to the list here. You can notice that there are two columns. The first column is as provided, and the second column is exactly the same thing, except that I have concatenated ADAS before that. So it gives me a uniform set of names for each ADAS eco-driving profile item. So you just have to copy and paste it into the name field, ADAS driver distraction warning. And the sensor that I'm going to use here is ADAS. This is, of course, the sensor that you have already created in the sensor tab. This exact sensor will be used to detect the value. And the value that we're looking for is 33 in this case. This driver distraction warning is 33 for this particular device. So on, we create all the 15 different violations. And you can give your own penalty as you choose. Now we go to the next part, which is the reports. In the reports, you can generate reports and you will be able to see the template. Let me just show you the two tables. One is the ADAS table. In the ADAS table, I'm grouping them by violation type as well as date. The date is not really necessary, but if you need to group it by date, you might as well do that. But it is important to group it by violation type, so you will get exact listing of individual violations. Of course, this depends on how you want to do it. If you want to move this up and group them by date, you might as well do it by date and then violation type. Of course, you need to enable detailization, and then we will also ensure that the violation name is masked as ADAS. The violation types are described in the eco-driving profile, and those violations will be filtered out and masked out by this prefix. So now you will understand why this second column was created. The second column was created so that you would be able to mask out ADAS and use them in our reports. So the interval filtration will work perfectly. The rest of them are not important. And next, let us look at the sensor tracing. So just as in ADAS table, the sensor tracing table also has some settings that we should pay attention to. One of them is the sensor mask that we are looking for is only ADAS. We're not looking for any other sensors, so only ADAS is our concern here. And in the column, of course, you can choose whatever column you want. If you want drivers, you can use them as well. So this is all there is. There are two tables. And if you want, you can also add, in some ADAS devices which provide images, you could also add the images table. You will simply say new table and then select images and add that. There are no other settings here. You can also, do a total. That's all you can do. There is no other settings in here. In the particular device that I have selected, there are no images. So you will not see any images when you generate this report. So here we have the ADAS table as well as a sensor tracing table. In the ADAS table, let us just see the details. You see the violations have taken place in various locations around town. And it does its own ranking. Everything else is exactly as before. You should realize that this is basically an eco-driving report, but we have filtered it only for ADAS events. So that's as far as reports go. Now we go to the notifications part. In the notifications, we are going to create a sensor. This is already created. Let us examine what the settings are. We choose the devices, and then we go for sensor value. This is important because this is the only thing that we are concerned about. And the sensor we are looking for is ADAS. It's a custom sensor, as you might remember, and we are going to calculate it separately. That's all fine, but this is what is important. We are only looking for change in value. We are not looking for anything like a constant value. If it's a 0, 0, 0, we don't record that. Or if the violations are repeatedly occurring, we're not looking at that. So the change has to be, there should be some sort of a change. So only one violation per event will be recorded. In this case, I'm just displaying an online pop-up window, and that's about it. This can be demonstrated live. Now I will just demonstrate this to you. I have got a unit which is configured as a via tag unit. And you can see the sensor state here. Its right lane departure warning is already on, and I'm now changing the status. It is vehicle slide warning that has popped up, and the notification, excuse me, has also worked there. And the next one is, again, there's been another notification, which is forward collision warning has popped up. Right lane departure warning, this also has popped up. So every notification has appeared. I mean, some of them have appeared. So this is as far as notifications are concerned. This concludes the live session. Now we will go to the supported devices on for ADAS. There are two sets. One is the actual ADAS sensor, which is supported. We now support, we are aware of mobile eye and AI driving. So these two have been connected to RS-232 ports on, it can work with Galileo Sky, BCE FM S500 Lite Plus, and Maytrack T622. So these are the three devices we have tried and tested the ADAS sensors. Some of our partners have tested, however, it is not limited to any of these three devices. You might as well try them out with any device that supports RS-232 port. So Teltonika, A-Track, CalAmp, or Coban, any one of those devices that support RS-232 will function without incidents. So thank you for listening. Next, we will go on to our Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can also write directly to me. My name is Nishad Hussain Kaipalli. I'm the implementation specialist at Gurtam Middle East, based in Dubai. Thank you. If there are any questions, I can answer them. I have unmuted the microphone, so if you have any questions, you could just ask them one by one. Yeah, regarding the video, I will be posting a video of this webinar on YouTube, so you would be able to view them as well. Are there any other questions?
Can you please share the list of companies providing ADAS systems?
Okay, I'll just go to the slide, which is Mobileye and AI driving. Mobileye has been tested to work with BCE. I'm sure it is also capable of supporting any device that supports RS-232. So it's just a connectivity with, it just sends RS-232, and the type of parameters that Mobileye sends will not be the same as what I just showed you, AI driving. So that can vary. And the beauty of VLON is that any parameter that comes in, you will be able to configure it as per what the manufacturer has provided.
Okay, thank you.
If someone is having difficulty, I'm not able to hear clearly. If you can also type, I would be able to respond to that. Okay, someone's asking me, could we get the actual model device from BCE, Galileo Sky, and Maytrack, which has already been integrated with ADAS devices? As I mentioned, I will provide that list. It's actually Galileo Sky base block version 5 and BCE Lite, which has an RS-232 port, and Maytrack. I don't know exact model of the Maytrack device, but I can find out that, and if you write to me, I will be able to respond. So these three devices I am aware of. There may be a lot of other devices which I am not aware of, but which support RS-232. But CalAmp also supports RS-232, and I believe the Teltonika also supports RS-232. Teltonika's FM5300 series, so you could try them as well. There is a bit of an advertisement here, which is anyone who wants to contact, you may contact Mohammed Ibrahim. He's willing to offer AI driving devices for the GCC region. So if there isn't any more questions,
can you please repeat once again about AI driving? You are mentioning something.
Yeah, let me just mention that one of our GCC partners actually does have AI driving devices, and he's willing to send it across, deal in that device. They're actually based in UAE, and the name is ATS UAE, and they will be willing to supply this entire solution to you. Does that answer
Okay.
your question?
Yes.
Any more questions? I'm not getting any more questions here. If I have missed any. Yeah, Babu. Babu is asking me what is the BCE model. The exact BCE model, I will write to you. I have all these questions. I don't know exact BCE model, but I'm sure it is the BCE Lite, which has got RS-232 support.
Sorry, just now I added Dhanraj from Bahrain.
Welcome, Dhanaraju. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, I guess that's it. So wait a second. FM, it should be FMS 500 Lite Plus. Yes. I am getting information that the BCE device is FMS 500 Lite Plus, which has the support for RS-232. So I would say again, you don't need to fix yourself on these three devices. Any device that supports RS-232 will function without any issues, unless you're going to look for more complex data streams like images or video. So those would not go through RS-232, as you might be aware of. They would require much higher bandwidth. So RS-485 or Wi-Fi, any one of those technologies can be employed. But this is not within the scope of our webinar. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me.
Thank you.
There will be more webinars, and I will post them on our forum and inform you of forthcoming webinars from Dubai. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Please.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.